And welcome back, YouTube. We are going to continue MSQ right where we left off. And we have a bunch of cutscenes coming up, so strap in, grab your snacks, popcorn, drinks, and let's dive in.
Estinian. Cease your mewling, boy. It grates my ears.
Forgive me. When I saw you awaken, I could not... It was such a relief. We feared you might never wake up.
Now, Estinian. If Master Alphino thought any less of you, you would still be Nidhogg's plaything. Or dead. Aye, 'twas but a jest. I thank you, Alphino. And you too, Warrior of Light. Quite how you managed to persuade Hraesvogr to aid in his brew brother's downfall I cannot imagine. But full glad am I that you did. 'Tis an honor to share the mantle of Azure Dragoon with one such as you. I, for my part, owe you an apology. When last we met, I did willingly loose an arrow at your heart. Can you forgive me? There is naught to forgive, Hameric. You but acted in defense of Ishgard as is your duty. Were you any less single-minded about it, I would not follow you into battle, nor trust you at my back. Besides, I had come to the selfsame conclusion, that I would have to perish for Nidhogg to be stopped. So let us dispense with the hand-wringing. I have heard enough mewling for one day.
Oh!
The tendrils of Nidhogg's foul presence bound up every fiber of my being, usurping my senses, but I yet retained some trace of awareness. The worm's mind was as a vast and tumultuous sea. Endlessly its black waters churned, his grief and despair at Ratatoska's murder never calming, never receding. Driven by this surging current came wave upon wave of unrelenting rancor. It was the very image of my own heart. There I saw the dark reflection of the hatred I felt after Nidhogg slew my family, when no path remained save vengeance against dragonkind. Neither one of us had a choice. But I was blessed with something Nidhogg was not. Comrades and teachers to console and admonish me. Had I not had them to gainsay my obsession, it would surely have consumed me as Nidhogg's did him, and we would have been in all respects alike. Though his shade is banished, his spirit scattered upon the sea of clouds, I feel no joy at his passing. Where once I craved vengeance, I now crave rest. Commander, my hunt is at an end. I would lay down the mantle of Azure Dragoon.
My friend.
He has tired himself with too many words. I doubt not that he will make a full recovery, but he must be allowed some few days of quiet.
I too must see my path to its end. Sleep well, my friend.
Following the battle with Nidhogg on the Steps of Faith, Sir Emeric called an assembly that he might make his final proclamation as acting head of state. 'Twas there, with one decree, that the 1,000-year rule of the archbishops was ended, paving the way for a new republic. The governance of Ishgard would now be placed in the hands of high and lowborn alike, their ranks represented by the newly founded House of Lords and House of Commons. Church was separated from state. The foundation for change had been carefully laid, and the reforms proposed by Ishgard's new government passed into law without incident. His duty done, Emeric de Burrell gladly stepped down from the Archbishop's dais, only to be raised unto the highest seat in the House of Lords. Though he strove at first to refuse this honor, the unexpectedly strident voice of the Count de Durandare left him little choice but to accept. And so it was that the winds of gentle revolution came to stir.
Damn. Dragons at the behest.
Prominent among the many honored guests at Sir Emeric's investiture were the ambassadors of Dragonkind, a fitting symbol of Ishgard's newfound peace. The people looked on in awe as he soared through the heavens on Dragonback. And by their cheers did they hail him an Azure Dragoon for a new age.
That's so cool.
Thus were the notes of the dragon song rewritten. The din of war giving way to a rising litany of peace and hope.
Oh, he got his eye back. Oh, beautiful, beautiful end to that song. I was gazing out at the sea of clouds, an all too rare moment of idleness, when I chanced to behold a certain hero wending his way towards the city on Dragonback. Welcome home. Nay, 'twas no grave matter that moved me to greet you in person. Between you and me I merely sought respite from the pressures of office. No sooner do I surrender my role as temporary head of state than I am burdened with a position of more permanent responsibility. I fancy that it echoes in some small measure the way you must feel when your improbable feats of heroism are rewarded with still more impossible challenges. The myth which guided our society for generations lies in tatters. Why then to be scorned for building upon the system of nobility that I once sought to tear down? And what strange jest is that this places me at its pinnacle, an archbishop's bastard at the head of the House of Lords. Ah, these questions are for me to answer. It is not in man's nature to change overnight. This I learned throughout painful experience, and it was this hard lesson which convinced me to take the path which we now follow. Even as we rebuild the bridge between man and dragon, so must we reimagine Ishgard, one carefully placed stone at a time. We must remember that it is not for us that we lay this groundwork, but for the men and women that our children will become. May their towers rise proudly from the fundament of our legacy. I hear word from Captain Whitecape that Estidian has vanished from his sick room. His willfulness survives undiminished. Should you ever happen upon our unmannerly friend on your travels, pray assure him that I shall keep Ishgard safe until he deigns to come home. Thank you, MSQ. And please convey my warmest regards to Master Alphinaud. To House Four Temps. You spoke with Sir Emmerich. I do not envy him in his new position. Ishgard has chosen a new road, one littered with detritus of 1,000 years of broken faith. Yet through her people may stumble from time to time. Yet though her people may stumble from time to time, I know of none better than Sir Emmerich to lead the march of progress. As for us, there remains the small matter of ushering in a new dawn in the shadow of inscrutable Ascian machinations, and a seemingly endless procession of primals. But we too must walk our chosen path, no matter how treacherous the footing. We get a wind-up Emmerich, Dragon Song Orchestrion, and the Alpine Coat, which is Lord Fortemps's coat, I believe. We'll put it on and see how accurate it is. In the wake of Ishgard's governmental reform, new airship routes have been sanctioned. You may now travel to a selection of distant locals from the landing in Ishgard. What did I say? Thank you, Blenhaus. Nay, you need not remain there. We shall rendezvous at the usual place. All is proceeding as expected, then. Aye, there is naught to concern us, aside from one overly curious mouse. This way. It's Alice, for sure. So Alpha Node has, well, Alpha Node's not there, and Alpha Node has a different code. Him again. Is of no moment. They will play their part, and we will play ours. And thus did grey mists give way to azure skies. Man and dragon rise above, voices joined in song, but beneath shrouded bows, beyond the scope of light, shadow stirs. Master Pledger, you are come at a most excellent time. An invitation from a truly preeminent personage was delivered to the manor but a short while ago. Would that you had been present to receive it, but in any event, Sir Emmerich de Barol, Lord Speaker of the House of Lords, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and Viscount of House Borel, cordially invites Master Pledger to dine with him at his estate. You seem surprised. The messenger assured me that his lord had broached the subject with you at an earlier date, and the arrangements for the peace conference were still being finalized. Of course, the intervening moons afforded little opportunity for leisure. But with the happy advent of peace, 'tis plain the Lord Commander sees no further cause to delay. What say you? I should be glad to accept. Indeed, who would not? You will forgive me if I seem envious. I shall send word of your acceptance to Burrell Manor at once. When you are ready, pray report to the Astrologicum. It will have someone escort you the rest of the way. I have the honor and the privilege to serve as head steward of House Baral, though admittedly our staff is somewhat smaller than those of other noble families, being countable on one hand. My lord will be overjoyed to hear that you have accepted his invitation. As you will soon see, we have spared no expense. I dare say a man of action such as yourself enjoys nary a moment's respite. Aye, the battlefield beckons even now, I am sure, but for this day, we bid you lay down your burdens and raise a glass to peace and prosperity. I guess I could have worn the alpine coat.
To think the Mughals would prove such harsh taskmasters. Forgive me. I did not know you had suffered so in your quest for the horn. I must say, your spirited accounts always come as a welcome change from the arid reports which fill my days. Though I have lived in these lands my entire life, to hear you speak of them, there is much and more I have yet to see. Truly, yours was a marvelous journey.
Wasn't all sunshine and lemon cakes.
Nor would I presume to imply otherwise. Neither I nor any man alive can truly understand what you have endured, and I cannot say with any confidence that I would have acquitted myself as well under the circumstances, much less grown stronger for it. By your deeds, you have helped us to lay the foundation for lasting reform. The formation of the Republic is but the beginning. For it is not only our system of governance which must needs change. We, the people, must learn to let go of our hatreds and rise above our bloody past. I only pray that I live long enough to see us achieve some measure of success, that I might know the lost did not die in vain. I can still see you there on the steps of faith, striding fearlessly towards the worm. If you could do that, who are we to balk at the challenges ahead? The question of how best to strengthen ties with the other great nations of Eorzea has been debated at length in the Lords and Commons of late. As you may imagine, maintaining stability during this period of historic upheaval is our paramount concern. Nevertheless, we are greatly indebted to the Alliance for their support during the Grand Melee, and it would be remiss of us not to repay their faith in kind. Of course, we owe you the greatest debt of all, and it is my hope that in extending our support to you and the Scions, we might also express our gratitude to our neighbors, nay, our fellow Eorzeans, whom we pray you will continue to protect. The Lords and Commons agree on very little, but not a soul in either house begrudges your order this offer of patronage. For all you have done and will do, we thank you. May I ask a personal question? Now that the dust has settled, what will you do? Not as a scion, I mean, but what do you want for yourself?
Lord Commander, pray forgive the interruption.
News from House Fulton?
An urgent message for the Warrior of Light. I was instructed to deliver it without delay. Master Thancred returned to the manor a short time ago, bearing an injured maiden. Master Leveilleur and Mistress Tataru are tending to her wounds, but they like not her chances.
Uh-oh.
Respectfully, my lord, they have requested the Warrior of Light's immediate presence.
You must go to them, my friend, and I shall go with you.
For every ending marks a new beginning. From tragedy and sacrifice, we rise to greet a new dawn, as did he. Only to be drawn unto another battlefield, another cause, as if by fate.
Yes.
Is that...
Alize, Alphinaud's twin sister. She ran afoul of the Warriors of Darkness. I had been tracking them since the ceremony at Falcon's Nest. Little did I know I was not the only one. Evidently, she had learned of their activities and attempted to shadow them on her own. Poorly. I rescued her in the Twelveswood, and together we fled north. But though I made every effort to cover our tracks, they caught up with us on the Ishgardian border. And in the ensuing struggle, Alize took an arrow to the shoulder. It was only after we had made good our escape that I realized it was poisoned.
Thank you for coming so quickly. And you, Sir Emmerich.
Think nothing of it. How is she?
We have done all we can for now. Although the immediate danger has passed, the poison yet lingers in her blood. We came to Eorzea together, hoping to bring salvation to the realm our grandfather gave his life to protect. But when confronted with the bitter realities of its politics and its petty powermongers, she was driven to anger and to doubt. She refused to become embroiled in what she termed Eorzea's squabbles and distance herself from the Scions. Though she remained hopeful of a brighter future, she would walk her own path. Would that it had not been so perilous. For all our differences, she's as dedicated as any scion to the salvation of Eorzea. But more than that, she is my sister. To be reunited with her, only to lose her forever. Gods, even to speak the words.
Take heart, Master Alphinaud. She will be attended by our most skilled chirurgeons. Bear Mistress Leveilleur to the infirmary at once. Apprise Captain Whitecape of the situation, and inform him that she is to be treated as my personal charge.
Alphino, is the Warrior of Light... is he with you? Don't go, there is something I must say. The Warriors of Darkness are in league with the Ascians. Slaughtering the Primals is but the first step in their plan. They make for Zelvatol to bring about Garuda's summoning and to kill her. You must stop them.
I shall inform the others at once.
Master Thancred, I would ask that you accompany Mistress Leveilleur to the infirmary. Your knowledge of her injuries may well prove useful in determining her treatment.
Of course.
Surely they won't let her... Yes, I know. We must trust in Captain Whitecape and his chirurgeons. They not bring Estinian back from the very brink of death. I'm uncomfortably reminded of how he mocked me for praying at his bedside for days on end. What say you, my friend? Shall we turn our attention to a matter whose conclusion we have yet the power to influence? So the Warriors of Darkness and the Ascians are conspiring to bring about Garuda's summoning. They might put her to the sword. And when we first encountered them in Loth Asknath, when they were confronting Ravana, gods, has this been their arm all along? What do you intend to do, Master Alphinaud? There is much and more I do not understand, but I know this. A primal summoning cannot be ignored. Alice risked her life to uncover this plot, and we squander her gift at our peril. MSQ, will you accompany me to Zelfatol and help me stop the Zitral Ixol's ritual? Ooh. Given that Ishgard shares a border with the Ixali homeland, a vested interest in the outcome of this ritual, we have been willing to suffer the Beastman's intrusions into Cortham lands to a point. The summoning of a primal is an escalation we cannot abide. We shall have our fastest ship, Master Alphinaud. The mountains of Zelfatol are not easily traversed, and this endeavor demands all haste. The gesture is most appreciated, Sir Emmerich, but I fear an aerial approach is destined to fail. This is their homeland, after all, and Ixali dirigibles are not to be underestimated. No experience tells me the only conceivable approach is by land. I believe it would be wise to cross into Zelfatol by the way of Mountain Pass east of Camp Dragonhead. In that case, I shall send instructions for a contingent of the camp's knights to be placed at your disposal. They will secure you safe passage through the mountains and escort you thence to Zelfatol. Though my men are unqualified to confront a primal, they are more than capable of contending with the Ixol. We should be glad of their assistance, Lord Landmont. In the event Mistress Alice regains consciousness, we will share with you any additional information she may provide. May the Fury watch over and keep you safe. Then let us be off. We can procure any additional supplies we require in Camp Dragonhead. Have you everything you require then? Excellent. The entrance to the pass is north of Natalin and due east of Camp Dragonhead. Though it is normally guarded by a score of Ixali warriors, I have been informed that House Fortemp's knights have already dispatched them. The enemy's gate lies open. We must need but walk through. Let me see really quickly what other titles we've gotten. Oh my god, we've gotten so many new ones. Last 4 times night sounds pretty cool. Yozor Dragoon. So right now we're using Nidhogg Slayer. I like Bearer of the Torch. We're gonna do that one. Master Plagiar, Master Alphanode. As you can see, the gate is ours. Be advised that our scouts are reporting increased activity around the First Mountain. Simply put, they are up to something and don't want anyone interfering. We stand ready to escort you to Zelphatol and aid you as you see fit. The enemy will be thick on the ground. Upon arriving, let us advance with care as we search for the site of the summoning ritual. If the gods are good, we should only have to contend with the Ixal, but if they are not, we may be forced to do battle with the Warriors of Darkness. Awesome. And as soon as that queue pops, we'll see you. So this queue is taking very, very long, so I'm actually just gonna I'm just gonna go ahead and run this as a trust. So I will come back. We'll be back at the end of the dungeon. Last boss. We'll see you in a sec. Alright, we are here at the last boss fight of the dungeon. Again, in a trust. So I've got Alphanode with me and 2 House 4 times Knights. We'll see how it goes. I don't usually do trusts, so it's not new to me, but familiar for sure. There's Garuda. Why are you facing the boss towards the healer, Knight? We'll probably get LB2. I'm gonna stand with them. We'll be fine. Gonna keep doing damage in my positionals. Nice heals. And same thing, just gonna stay here and do damage. So we're not going to get an LB2. Thankfully, we at least got an LB. It's pretty cool on the floor. These are like representative of wings. I like that. Oh, there's a minion.
So they were unable to see the ritual to its completion. Then Garuda is no longer a threat, and whatever the Asians and the Warriors of Darkness were planning has come to naught. But we should not tarry. The knights have secured our path to safety.
Well, well. What do we have here? You'd better not have killed the primal without us.
Urianger? Why is he always working? I hate this guy.
You!
Wait, I know you. Still walking, I see. I could have sworn my aim was true.
Just what is your game? Leading us the long way so these fools could step in and claim our prize?
No, now. Let's not make hasty accusations. By the look of things, the ritual was proceeding as planned. We arrived at the appointed hour. 'Twas they who erred.
It is hopeless. We cannot face them all.
Do mine ears deceive? A boy! So that's the way of it. Twins! You had me worried for a moment there. Know that I will happily make it quicker for you. If you just stand still.
I like her.
Enough, Jarumul. We wouldn't want to upset the man in white with any unnecessary bloodshed now, would we? You've been awfully busy since we were kind enough to spare your lives.
While you were idly consorting with the Asians, you mean? 7 hells! What could you possibly hope to achieve?
Should I explain it to you? Very well. Consider it a reward of sorts for beating us here. You know the tale of Hydaelyn and Zodiac, I take it? Of the Great Sundering and the reflections it created?
No.
Across 10 and 3 they were divided. Reflections of the source, each possessed of shards
Okay,
of
but
light
you
and
can
dark.
say that, but what does that fucking mean, Alpha Node?
Just so. One of those reflections, the one nearest to the source, is our home.
10 and 3.
And we were the heroes blessed with her light. But not all worlds hold light and dark in equal measure. In ours, the power of light was greater by far. So the Asians, who once threatened our home, were no match. And they fell before us, one after another, till none were left. Victory, we thought. And then came the light. A flood of pure, blinding radiance, annihilating shadow and color and life itself. Ere long, it will consume our world, leaving naught in its wake but blank perfection.
That cannot be. Do you honestly expect us to believe such a story?
Believe what you like. But it has happened before, on a world far removed from ours. The 13th, which was swallowed by the dark and transformed into what you call the Void. Unchallenged light would condemn us to a similar fate. And so we joined hands with our former enemies, and with their aid came here, to the source.
We're the source?
For there is but one way to restore the balance and save our home. The Ardor. Calamitous destruction with the power to break down the barriers between planes and see our worlds rejoined.
You would doom our world to save your own? What would even become of us? Of you?
Enough. I tire of talking. You know our cause. You know what is at stake. We are prepared to do whatever it takes. Are you?
If there is aught you would say, say it. Otherwise, begone. You have no friends here.
All things considered, we should be grateful to have survived that encounter. Do you think it could be true that to save their world they must bring ruin to ours? No. No, it matters not. Such wanton destruction is beyond justification. Whatever their reasons, they must be stopped. The sacrifice, the loss, it ends here. Forgive me, this is neither the time nor the place for idle introspection. The knights can apprise Lord Edmund of our success, and we the Lord Commander. More importantly, I should like to see if my sister's condition has improved. You may take a moment for yourself if you wish. I will be at the congregation. I know it's only been like seconds for you guys, but having waited in the queue and then having to do it in a trust, it's been like an hour already for me. Oh man. I wish trusts would go a little faster. Maybe increase the damage output of our party. Because wowie. It brings me joy to see you safely return to us, MSQ. What news from Zelfatol? That we were not too late. On behalf of Ishgard, I offer you my deepest thanks. As for we who remained behind, Mistress Ishtola has been tending to Mistress Alice in your absence, and I am pleased to report that she has regained consciousness. I imagine you have many questions, especially given your recent encounter with the Warriors of Darkness. I know I do. Come, let me show you to her room. Do not worry, her condition is much improved. She is a resilient one, much like her brother.
Alize, how are you feeling?
Well enough, brother. Thanks to the kindness of our hosts. When they told me you had departed for Zelfatol, I found that I could rest. The outcome seemed a mere formality, as did your safe return. Thank you, my friend.
I take it your mission was a success.
As if we needed any further confirmation that they are in league with the Ascians. But to save another world? I think not.
I too thought his story fanciful at first. But it is possible there may be a kernel of truth in all of this. At the very least, none of his claims contradict the word's account.
You were following these people, Alize. Why?
During my travels, I had oft enjoyed tales of the Scions and their exploits. But after a time, I began to hear whispers of a gifted and theretofore unknown band of adventurers. Adventurers who had supposedly sworn to travel the realm slaying primals in the Scion's stead.
The Warriors of Darkness. And in the course of investigating these rumors, you stumbled upon the Ascians' involvement.
Yes, exactly.
Forgive me, but if these warriors of darkness mean to bring about another calamity, to what end do they hunt primals?
To prompt an escalation. To deepen the beast tribe's feelings of helplessness and despair, and thereby drive them to summon ever more powerful gods. And lest we forget, these events do not occur in isolation. With their patron deities being slain left and right, the news of man's victory over Nidhogg must surely have sown panic in the minds of the beastmen. 'Tis no wonder they wish to defend themselves.
Power answered with greater power, death with more death. A vicious cycle fueled by fear and hatred. I know it's like all too well.
Indeed. The Ascians sow discord and desperation, and the warriors of darkness reap the harvest. And so it continues. Yet that is not the extent of their ambitions. The Ascian himself observed that once the powerless realize that the old gods have failed them, they will have little recourse but to look to a new one.
We cannot let that happen.
It should come as no surprise, but Alizé and I have uncovered evidence that the Ascians have been manipulating certain parties to ensure that a constant stream of crystals flows into the hands of the beast tribes. If we sever these supply lines, we should at least be able to slow the escalation.
Agreed. Kral and I shall journey to Zelfatol and learn what we can of the Ixal's source.
Then I, for my part, pledge to lead a similar investigation into the origin of the Nath supply.
Sir Emmerich?
As a member of the Eorzean Alliance, Ishgard is honor bound to play an active role in maintaining the security of the realm. You might also say that I have some personal motivation, given the Ascians' dealings with my father. However, I make no secret of the fact that my knowledge of primal beings is scant at best. As such, I should be most grateful if one of your order were to assist me.
Allow me, Sir Emmerich. I have dealt with the Nath before.
Let us consult with Orianja then. Given his dedication to the study of primal beings, I should be surprised if he could not tell us something of value.
Allow me to accompany you, brother. And before you think to refuse, know that I am not the girl I once was. I shall not be a burden. You have my word.
But Alizé, you... You are more than welcome. After all, it was you who set us upon this path.
Wait a minute! I'm afraid I can't allow you to leave just yet. Not until you try on the new outfit I prepared for you.
I really hope it's not a matching pair. Give her just some distinction, please. Alright, that's it for this block. Y'all, will see you in the next one. Like, subscribe if you're enjoying my playthrough here, and we'll see you. Take care.